Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 86 of Guess the Trade, where subscribers send in their loadouts, we take a look at the tools, and then we see if we can guess what it is they do with those tools in the comment section below. Well, back in episode 85, we looked at Hellduck's loadout of his Tough Built Tote. All sorts of great tools in there, a lot of the same tools that I run. There were a few tools that I didn't know about, and that's because he said that he was from another country. What was it that he did with those tools? Well, he answered Three Phases comment and said that he is an electrician, essentially one of all sorts. He said if there is a cable that hooks up to something, he works on it. And then the second part of it was he is from Russia. So if you were guessing, some people guessed where you thought he was from and then also what he was doing. He is an electrician from Russia. So really great loadout, Hellduck. Appreciate you sending that in. Well, today we're going to look at two loadouts. We're going to look at David Alderette, and then we're also going to look at Astro Boy. Lots of Veto products today. I think pretty much all Veto products. There is a Klein Modbox tote that we're going to look at. But it doesn't, like, we don't see the outside of it, but we will see the tools that are in it. So the first one that we're going to look at today is David Alderette. He has a Veto MP1, I think it is, and then also an MB high-vis bag and that Klein Modbox tote. So we're going to take a look at those and see if we can guess what he does. But let's go ahead and jump into David's tools. So here's the first picture. Again, an MP pouch from Veto on the left. I'm pretty sure it's an MP1, but it could very well be a 2. It was very hard for me to tell from the pictures. And then he's got an MB bag, high-vis version, hooked onto the Klein Modbox tote. Now, we're going to see the tools that are in the Modbox tote, but we're not going to see them, like, loaded in. I don't think there's a picture of that. So the first picture is the MP pouch. And again, I don't see the two little screwdriver holes from this angle up there in that big section. I'm almost positive this is an MP1X actually, but I'm not 100% sure on that. He's got the Klein scissors up there, along with the torpedo level, Klein precision insulated driver. He's got some green electrical tape around his the actual insulated shaft part. Not sure if his insulation came off or he just does that for a purpose. Klein precision driver. He's also got the Klein scribe pencil and permanent marker. Nebo light. He's using the Klein made in the USA driver, the slotted, but he's got the conduit reamer on top of that. Again, just with these very few tools, you should be kind of gearing in on what it is you think he does. He's got a little hook wire there to go in and grab something, along with the Klein 13-in-1 or 15-in-1. I can never remember which one has the black and orange bits. Then he's got the Klein Knipex Cobra style pliers, and then Klein tools, those shears. I actually really like those cutting shears. I picked those up and they cut really well. And then the DeWalt locking bit holder. So 100% Klein pretty much right there, except for the Nebo light and then the DeWalt locking bit holder, which is by far my favorite locking bit holder. It's not the most robust. They are going to tear up on you over time, but they usually last me like a year before, like, the little spring loaded thing breaks. If I can buy it for $8 and use it for a year, I'm cool with that. But a lot of Klein tools right there inside that MP1 pouch. So we'll move on to the next picture. Here is that MB pouch. And again, normally these have a name right there. And I've got an MB3. That's the only one I have. And that kind of looks like this, but I'm not sure if that's what this is in the high vis. So he's got a Klein laser distance measure over there on the left. Craftsman utility knife. He's got the Racketeer's ball on a carabiner, or at least something like the Racketeer's ball. There's some generics of those as well. The little Klein thumb ratchet, Home Depot carpenter pencil, a whiteout pen, another marker. He's got the Klein toner, along with the Klein Scout Pro 3, like the mapping tool for internet and phone. And then he's also got a green meter of some sort up there. I'm not sure who makes that color meter. It's almost the color of his knife a little bit, so I'm not sure who makes that one, but he's got that there. Now we'll move on to this. So these, I didn't see these tools in the MB bag. I did see that little red-handled Milwaukee scissor inside the Klein tote. Again, we don't see a picture of the tote loaded out, but these are the tools inside of his tote. So he's got Klein diagonals. He's also got, like, the Klein, I think those are the BX cutters, or the, what I would call the MC cable cutters. He's also got the Milwaukee made in the USA lineman, so that's a little odd. 100% Klein. And then he's got the Milwaukee made in the USA lineman pliers. So he's got the Klein pliers wrench, along with the Klein pliers / pipe wrench, or whatever that's called. I can't remember. The Milwaukee, he's got the boot going on that impact. He's got the Klein Tools 16-foot tape measure, Klein as far as the demo driver. There's another precision driver wrapped in the green tape. Actually, now that I see this, he's got green tape wrapped around a lot of his tools, I guess, to let it know that it's his more than anything. So that's probably why he's got that on there, because he's also got a cobalt little driver there with green on it as well. He's got metric SAE Klein on the hex wrenches, and then he's got two really long DeWalt extensions, along with a Milwaukee pair of scissors and a Klein scribe as well. We'll back on out and go to the next picture. I'm wondering, based upon, because it looks like he's real heavy in Klein, and then he's got a few Milwaukee tools, but they're all newer. But he also has like a Home Depot carpenter pencil and other things. So I'm curious, David, if you are you go to Home Depot, maybe your town doesn't even have a Lowe's or something like that. So that's why you started getting a few Milwaukee tools, because it looks like you were really heavy in Klein, or you're 100% almost in Klein, but you have picked up a few Milwaukee tools in the last little bit, and they're all like newer, like since Klein transitioned over to Lowe's Milwaukee tools. So curious about that. So here's the last picture. He's got that Klein cable stapler. I've got a video for that. I hated mine. I absolutely hated it. Now, Matt HMM likes his, so maybe you like it. I bought the M12 now, and it's phenomenal. He's also got the punch down tool, the Cat 5, Cat 6 tool right there, Cripper. Another pair of, I'm assuming, Milwaukee on the needle nose, but he's also got the Klein lock nut plier wrenches, the other Klein USA screwdriver, another conduit reamer, flush cuts over there on the far right, the USA versions from Klein. Now those are from Lowe's, so that threw a wrench in my theory. He's got a Milwaukee torpedo level. I think that's a Klein flashlight that's orange. He's also got another Klein screwdriver of N1, or a bit holding screwdriver. A couple different DeWalt bits, looks like a Phillips 2 and then a square 2 on a carabiner with some bit holders. S-wing hammer. Let's see, and then I see a Klein jab saw. And then again, there's those two locking bit holders right there. I think that's the last picture. There's his name. So these are the tools in his Klein Modbox Tote. And then also these are the tools in his MB, I think MB3. Again, could be totally wrong on that. MP1X. I always have a hard time remembering the X. And then there's all the bags. That's his total loadout right there in that last picture. But overall, a really nice loadout from David. Lots of great Klein tools, ones that I absolutely love. And then again, he had a few Milwaukee sprinkled in there. So I'm curious about that more than anything. Why is it that you kind of got those tools in Milwaukee, even though it's apparent that you really like Klein tools? I think it's a pretty easy guess on David, in my opinion. Again, I know I'm not going to throw anything out there, but the tools are what they are. They pretty much scream what it is. So again, anytime it's like that, I think it's nice if we try to get specific. Like, what specifically do you think he does in that field? I always think that that's interesting. But appreciate you, David, sending in your loadout. Well, the second loadout we're going to look at is Astro Boy. He has a Veto Pro Pack SPMC, and then also that Veto SC45 as well. So both of the free promo type items, maybe he bought them both, bought the SPMC and got that SC45 for free. We're going to check those out, see if we can guess what it is that he does, but let's go ahead and jump into his tools. So first picture is the outside of that Veto SPMC. He's also running the M12s. He's got the drill and then also an impact on the left and right. Inside that drill holster. We'll see what he's using as far as if he's using the pouch and the drill holster. So here's the back side. We've got Stanley tape measure, and we're going to see all these tools, so I'm not going to dig into exactly what all of them are, but he's got a flashlight clipped on the back, some blue painter's tape, it looks like, some bit holders. I'm not real sure what the other thing is on the keychain type thing quite yet. Here is that bag opened up. So he's got the Woobin. I think that's the E3. I got so many flashlight names in my head, it's very hard for me to remember them all, but I'm pretty sure it's like the E3 or something like that. Klein 11-in-1 rationing, 11-in-1 regular, and then a multi-bit of some sort. A couple different pliers, some hex keys down in there as well. So here we start up at the top left. We've got a Stanley 16-foot tape measure. Looks like he's also got a Makita-ish socket rail, but it's not Makita, so not sure what those are. And then he's also got a very small, like 1-layer bit rail. So that's kind of like that Ullman or whatever that was that I just recently picked up, except for it's only one rail, so that might be useful. Interested to know what that is. Also got some Aries bits, it looks like, a small 1/4 inch ratchet, and then we've got a hard, let's see, HARDED maybe on the knife. I'm not real sure exactly what brand that is. Going down a little bit, we've got a pair of tongue and groove pliers. I'm not sure if they're Weehaw. The rest of everything to the left is. But he's got Weehaw needle nose, Weehaw combination with a crimper, and then also Weehaw diagonals. He's got the Klein multi-bit with the flip socket. That's the ratcheting. Let's see. So that's probably the ratcheting handle out of the nut driver set, maybe. That comes with the nut drivers that I bought, but he's got the flip socket in it, or maybe they make one now, a set like that. I'm not real sure. I haven't seen that. But he's got that there. He's also got a Klein screwdriver with the bits 11-in-1, just a regular old school 11-in-1, and then he's got the ratcheting impact 11-in-1 and the Klein flip blade insulated, probably one of my favorite insulated screwdrivers. And then he's got either, I'm going to say that's the 14-in-1, I think, on that precision driver. Woobin E3, he's got a Aining as far as that pin tester, and then he's got a non-contact voltage tester over there. Some sort of a utility knife, like a lever flip out, and then he's got a DeWalt jab saw, Milwaukee strippers, and then he's got a pair of, let's see, H-O-T, I'm not real sure, Hoto or something like that on those strippers. I'm not 100% positive on those. Some colored hex keys, and then he's got a telescoping magnetic pickup tool, little reamer tool. There's the thing on his ring was a Panduit, so that looks like it's like a outside, cable stripper for a round cable possibly. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen that tool specifically in person, but that's kind of what it looks like to me possibly. He's got a combination square, small little pry bar, another small pair of flush cuts. Let's see, another little small pair of strippers. Looks like a plastic razor blade knife, and then a brush down there as well. So that's the Veto SPMC. Move on now to the Veto SC45. I'm really interested to see this loadout. I'm still working on mine. Looks like he's got a pair of pliers out in the front and also a pencil. And I can't remember what that brand of pencil is, but my buddy bought some, and I've got a few of them, but I can't remember what it is. Seems like it starts with an H. So inside of it looks like he's got vessel USB, and then also the Annex ratcheting screwdriver that all of you love. You talk about it all the time. Another small little Klein precision driver and a bit. Let's see, a smiling shark. Looks like possibly a flashlight. Another pair of Weehaws on the combination pliers, and then also the diagonals, and then some yellow tape and a tough built knife. So here they all are out. Let's see if we can see this red pencil name. I'm curious if I remembered right. Nah, I can't read it. Seems like mine started with an H, but I'm not positive about that. But there's all the tools out. I kind of just showed them to you in the actual thing itself. So again, I love the Vessel USB. I know a lot of you love that Annex ratcheting screwdriver. Those look like those Weehaw, let's see, or Fujiya strippers. Yeah, those look like those strippers that I picked up not too long ago. So he's got those there. That was what was in the front pocket. We didn't see those out just a minute ago. So there's all those in his SC45. I think that's the last picture it is. There's his name. So again, there's his SC45 tools, what he's using there. We'll go back to this picture. That's everything that's inside of his SPMC. And then here it is loaded out in that SPMC. Again, maybe you didn't get the free bag and you're curious, what all fits in there. That's the tools, that's the loadout that he has in there. And then we get through the outside of the bag, and then there is that first picture with the bag all closed up. But overall, a really great loadout of that Veto Pro Pack SPMC. I'm currently still using that bag. I absolutely love it, to be honest with you. It's probably one of my favorite Veto bags. It can be a little tippy, especially if you don't have it locked in while you're driving around, those kind of things like that. But overall, I really like it. I'm still working on my SC45 loadout. I've almost got it fine-tuned down enough. I've been using it a little bit and seeing what I like in it, what I don't like in it. I will eventually do a loadout of that. But great loadouts from both David and Astro Boy. Appreciate you sending them in. If you've got questions for them, drop those down in the comment sections below. But also don't forget to guess what it is you think both of them do. I appreciate them sending your loadouts. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, I hope this video was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.